KZN Scopa Chair Maggie Govender is on the line to us. Maggie, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time today. The dripping away of funds is divided into various categories like fruitless and wasteful expenditure, unauthorized spending and outright corruption, I suppose. Which of that wrongdoing is most common in KwaZulu-Natal?
Well, Joanne, I think all of them. The issue here is good governance, and corruption is just one of the outcomes of poor governance, where you get the abuse of public office for private gain. But what you also do get is that there are a whole range of malpractices which result in leakages in the public purse. So to give you an example, you would find that officials would not declare their financial interests, and as a result of that, they get into contracts with government departments. For example, in our Department of Education, there were 269 officials who failed to disclose their interests or those of their close family members, and that involved contracts worth 106.9 million with the department. Another example, on the other side of officials, is suppliers. We had 46 suppliers, again in the Department of Education, or doing work with the Department of Education. They submitted false declarations of interest, and that involved an amount of 8.4 million in the 2016-17 financial year. There are many other such cases. You've got a case in the Department of Transport where, again, you found that there were suppliers who submitted false declarations of interest, and there, in the Department of Transport in KwaZulu-Natal, the amount is 84.5 million, and it's a repeat offense. So, whilst we normally look at corruption where people directly get money, things like this are also corrupt activities, financial misconduct, which actually cost the public purse.
It's interesting, all the departments that you mentioned there, Maggie, but a lot of this also seems to occur in the KZN public health sector and similarly in other provincial health departments around the country. Is this sector particularly susceptible to corruption?
Well, your biggest service delivery departments, because they have the largest portion of the budget, I suppose would be most prone to this, but it's not confined to the large departments. You would get this in smaller departments as well. For example, doing business with the state. That is legislated, there's legislation which prohibits officials from doing business with the state. And they are supposed to declare, make financial disclosures for each financial year. But you will find that over and over again, the Auditor General or the Public Service Commission will pick up that these declarations of interest have not been made, and when you quantify, the amount runs into billions. So the public purse gets attacked. From another angle, you don't see it directly, but when you find out, you realize that contracts have been going to officials who have an in on what's going on. And that goes against the grain as well of economic development, of competitive bidding, of transparency, of all those things.
Some time ago, you came out saying public servants who are doing business with government and what is essentially this conflict of interest you're talking about should be named and shamed. Has that happened at all?
Well, we haven't yet had it, but if you look at our latest Scopa resolutions report, that is exactly what we are calling for. We are saying that the time has gone where we just read about, so many officials who had a conflict of interest, etc. We now want to bring them out, and we are pushing very strongly as Scopa for consequences. And we are saying, and the Premier himself has supported this, we are saying that we want the consequences. We don't want it to be up in the air where we are told there's going to be an investigation or a disciplinary hearing. We're also asking for definite time frames so that we can track this. So I think as Scopa, we are very, very firm in saying that those who are guilty of wrongdoing and of robbing the public purse must be brought to book. We're also saying that we will hold heads of departments responsible because it is under them that these officials, it's their responsibility. So we will also hold them accountable. In that way, nobody escapes.